Hi everybody, and welcome to what might be a new series of things I'm going to do this year. And I had this same thought last year but didn't do it, that I would do a sketch of all the films that I went to see. So I'm just going to hide this because I've actually been to quite a few this month already and I've been a bit slow getting this off the ground. So on the 10th of January I went to see Wonka. So I thought what I would do is just have a bit of a fun sketchy session and try drawing Timothy Chalamet as Wonka, maybe Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa as well, and just chat about what I thought about the film. We'll see how it goes. This may never even reach the dizzy heights of YouTube. So I do have a reference picture in front of me here because I'm not very confident at just drawing off the top of my head, and this is not necessarily going to be great art, but I don't care, it's just going to be fun sketching. So I was a bit dubious about going to see this film because I'm a child that remembers, I'm not a child anymore obviously, but I do remember Gene Wilder many years ago in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Is that even showing up? No. And so for me, he will always be Wonka. He will always be Willy Wonka. So I was a bit dubious about going to see this, and I had booked to go and see back in December, because one of the other benefits of having this, it's called an unlimited card. One of the benefits of having a Cineworld Unlimited card is you get to go and see films before they come out in the cinema proper as well. So that's quite fun. And like I say, I've been to see some things I didn't ever think I'd go and see. I have been to a couple of the secret screenings. So they do it every month or every other month, but you buy a ticket to go to the cinema and you don't know what you're going to see. So I did see it was a cartoony one last year. It was one of the ones that I saw, which is not something I would have gone and seen, but Elemental, that was what it was called. It was really good fun actually, but not something I would have necessarily gone to see on my own. I didn't walk out. I was impressed with myself. I didn't sign up to go to any of those during October and November because I felt sure they would have been scary films, and I'm not a scary film person. Anyway, let me tell you about this film without giving away the plot, which I guess you already know really. Timothy Chalamet is, I've never heard of him. Sorry, Timothy. But I thought he portrayed Willy Wonka really, really well. Let's just give it some of this because I need the fingers. And he had that wit and charm and cheekiness. Very definitely a cheeky person. So yeah, I thought he played the part very, very well. And I mean, basically, it's a fun story of an entrepreneur who falls foul of the law, is very trusting, starts off with £68 or something at the beginning of the film, and within the first 10 minutes, basically, he's lost it all just by being a damn nice person. And right. The supporting cast are brilliant. We have got Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa. What are you doing here? That's that long finger. And then there's a little finger comes down like that. Hands. Tell me how to draw hands. That's close enough, see. So yeah, Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa is hysterical. So funny. I've got a picture of him. I might try drawing him in a minute. So his knuckle is kind of here. Oh, his knuckle comes from this top part. Yeah, this is all. I should have started with this little finger because that's where his knuckle is. There we go. We'll get there. So yeah, he falls foul of Olivia Colman. Very funny lady anyway. And yeah, it's just generally an all-round lovely film, which was cheered me up when I went to see it. Costumes were amazing, music brilliant. Let's say the cast, awesome. He's got lots of hair coming out here in his ear. Oh yeah, you see the bottom part of his ear, a bit higher up. And then this is all hair, a bit of hair coming out there. Right, let's see if we can do these eyes. His eyes are kind of there. This is testing me. Very bushy eyebrows he has. They don't quite meet in the middle, but very, very bushy eyebrows. I should have probably also said that I will probably, I'm not talking for part of this because concentrating. Oh, no, that was going all right, and then I messed up a bit. Well, I suppose I should really show you what I'm using as my reference, shouldn't I? And then you can tell if I'm doing a right job. Let me show you my reference. There's my reference picture. Let me zoom in a bit more as well because I'm not sure you can see too much of what I'm doing. So yeah, as a precursor to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That one goes more looking up. It kind of gets you into the story of how the Oompa Loompas came to be working in the sweet factory with Charlie. Oh, not Charlie, with Wonka. But yeah, the song's brilliant. I probably will end up saying this more than once this year, not least because I have been to see The Colour Purple as well. I went to see that the night before last, another amazing film. And excuse me, I remember I did A-level theatre studies, and I can remember on our course we had to do an essay all about musicals. And although things like The Sound of Music had been out and all those kind of things, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang when I was younger, I can remember in my essay writing I hated musicals because they were so unlike real life, and you never saw anybody just walking down the street and suddenly bursting into song. And right enough, you don't. You never see people just walking down the street, and he's got these lovely little, what do you call them, dimples. Not quite like that, so kind of like that. I quite love that's his. In fact, his face is a bit fatter, not fatter, but comes out a bit more. So yeah, I can remember doing this essay on how musicals were utterly ridiculous because people didn't go around doing that. But what a world it would be if we did. You just imagine it. Right, so he's then got this rather spectacular scarf coming here. It's easier to draw. I did take my sketchbook to the cinema the other night with the thought of getting it out and doing some sketching before the film started, but I didn't. Now I've made his face too fat. Because this line comes more down there like that. That's better. So where's his hand? Yeah, so he's got the cuff of his shirt comes down like that. There's a green bit there on his jacket. And then here it's kind of, there's this collar here which then kind of comes down like that. Oh, sorry. And this is the cuff of his coat here. And his hand needs to come a bit down like that. No, not to there, see. It'd be physically impossible. Yeah, more like that. And then there's the other part of his cuff of his shirt sleeve is there. And then his other ear's hiding there. And there's some hair in there. Now I don't feel I've got him smiling. This side of his mouth's further up. It definitely tilts up more. That's better. And then over this side, the jacket just falling down. There we go. I feel the hat should be much wider. There we go. Yeah, this is his shirt sleeve and it's got stripes on it. There we go. I think his chin actually comes down a bit more as well. It's a bit more pointy. That's better. I mean, actually, that is kind of like he's got a little. Let me show you a picture. He's got a little kind of. Oh! A little kind of double chin under there. So let's get to painting this, and for this I'm just going to use my little Schminker watercolour palette. That colour there is good for the coat, I think, Peroline Violet. Although it probably wants a little bit more red. Make sure we get everything in here. So, here's my colour thing. Let's do the hat first. So, yes. It wants to be a bit more. Yeah, that's better. So the top bit is quite a lot lighter, so this is not going to react like proper watercolour paper, but so these are just going to be fun sketches. I don't really know a lot of gossip to tell you about the movie. Other than, like I say, the cast are brilliant. There's quite a lot of adult humour in it as well that will go over the heads of children, luckily. But I think it's a film that would appeal to young and old alike. And the set just brilliant, and the young girl who plays the girl that befriends Wonka is great. I'll put her name in because I don't actually know her name off the top of my head. So we need some creases in this hat. Should probably let it dry a bit more, but these are only quick sketches. Red in there, I think. So I know one of my friends has asked why I don't just watch things on Netflix. Simple answer to that, I don't have Netflix. And it's nice to actually get out of the house as well and go somewhere and see something. Very often, quite funny, I can be the only person sometimes in the cinema. So I think it is it's something that is less and less popular than it used to be years ago. We used to go on a Saturday morning as kids, get our popcorn and sit and watch the cartoons. And I feel sure we used to watch cowboy movies as well. Now, I think his eyes are brown as well, but I'm not sure. Browny, bluey, greeny, I don't know. So let's go for this colour. He has got most stunning eyes. Now, skin tone. I've yet to learn how to mix a decent skin tone. I have a feeling I read somewhere once about putting a bit of green in. Maybe that's it. That's not it, so. That's better. So let's do his hand. This will probably take ages to dry because I've got it quite wet. Oh, that's the finger up there as well, so get that painted skin colour. There we go. His face. And under his eyes is quite dark actually. So probably want maybe a bit of that. Maybe not. Right, his hair is very dark. So I might use neutral tint. Yes, that would be. It's got some. Some flyaway bits. And then he's got some hair in here. Come back, screen, come back. Put some of this dark up here as well. In there, because that's a dark bit of the rim. Still looking a bit pale. I do need to remember that this paper takes longer to dry, so things are running into each other. Especially up here. and here. Oh, sorry. Although it does kind of make it look a bit more realistic there. I'm not going to do his eyes just yet, because his eyebrows, I mean, because it's still wet. Right, his coat. I'm going to do this Cerulean red, Cerulean violet. Sorry. One of the things I've found with the schmink paints is that they do work very nicely. I think his shoulder's bigger. Goes out for further. Because his coat is always looks kind of a bit too big on him. That's better. Yeah, they work really nicely. And the colours are very vibrant. And then that bit there is a darker bit of his coat, so that needs to be really dark. And I might need to add just a touch of neutral tint to it. And this bit here is actually darker as well. And then this bit in here is more of a kind of reddy colour. So this is kind of like a mucky colour. I don't know what it is, just mucky. Kind of greeny mucky, I think. Just mixed up a mucky colour on my palette. I really need some shadow up there. That mark is there. Oh, I didn't do his ear. Sorry. Have an ear. I haven't done his mouth either. I'll wait till that dries and go over it again. Finding nose is really difficult. I think I might end up wishing that I hadn't painted this. Maybe if I had left it just as a pencil drawing, I might have been happier. Right, this, oh no, that bit there is green. Dark green. And then that in there's kind of peachy, yellowy colour. Everything's quite muted on this picture. And then for his scarf, I'm gonna, no, not that blue. I kind of really want that mucky kind of grey colour again. A bit more mucky grey. And then it has got lots of just splashes of colour. It is a proper pattern, but I'm just going to do it as like, not really a pattern. Blue in there. And some orangey bits. I think my battery might be running out in a minute, so I think I'll probably let it dry and go over some of it with liner pens. Let's put a few bits of this in there as well. His eyes aren't really dark enough. Be a bit better. And I do need some lines around his fingers. Just want a bit more on his mouth. Around his eyes is actually darker, really. That's a bit better. I don't really want to lose the shape I've got because it's quite a nice shape actually. I don't really know what's going on here. I think there's another bit that should be coloured in there, that's why. Yes, it should be coloured in there. Because there's his finger. That's better. Okay, what else do I think he needs? That eyebrow is really much more straight across there. The eyebrow, the eyelid. And then I want some definite lines coming down here. Am I going to call that done? Yes.